it went pretty well. I think we got a lot of good mileage on the car, all the components which we wanted to test. So I'd say the team executed a very good winter testing program. We're now ready to go racing, of course. So the proof will be in the pudding how well prepared we are. But you know, very excited about the new season coming along, and just want to get going now, obviously, because we had the first race cancelled and a lot of weeks now waiting to get into the racing. So we need to get going now. I think in general we're very excited with the progress we've made over the winter with the new car. Obviously, KERS is a challenge for everybody to get right. It's quite a high maintenance system to have run consistently, and but in general the car is performing reliability-wise quite solid at the moment. It's always a unique event competing in your home race. Very lucky to have one. Of course, it's not added pressure, but obviously everyone would like to see you do well, and the lead up to the race is also quite busy with the media and things like that. So in some ways I really look forward to getting to Malaysia, because it's much more it's quieter for me, but in other cases you know, it's an interesting weekend to try and do well at, and you know, they all give the same result. Obviously any Grand Prix victory is unique and special, but of course it's always nice to do well in your home race. It's not the easiest track to overtake on, but we'll see how this year goes with the rear wing and things like that. But the weather can also be a little bit strange here, so up and down a little bit with the rain coming. It's quite close to the ocean, as we see here, so you know, it can play a role as well. And it's a street circuit really, so the track doesn't really give you a lot of grip. It's not a purpose-built circuit, so it's a normal road for the public, so the track is not that grippy. So all those things together generally provide a bit of an interesting afternoon in terms of racing. Well, it'd be great to start the season with a victory, of course. I'd love to win the home race. It's going to be a difficult event, obviously the first one, with a lot of questions unanswered in terms of how the cars will perform, the rear wing and those sort of things. So we'll see. I think the biggest change is the tyres. They're proving the biggest challenge, I suppose, to get used to, and that's going to be the biggest difference to years gone by. The KERS is basically invisible, because everyone will use the KERS at the same time, and it doesn't really, this is not very important for the racing. The rear wing, yes, I think that will play a role in terms of overtaking, so that could be something to look out for. So the tyres are a big priority. So yeah, 70% tyres, 25% rear wing, and then 5% KERS. It's a bit busy in the cockpit now. I mean, I don't mind it for the race. It's fine, because we won't use the ring so much in the race. But in qualifying, obviously, to have the rear wing on and using the KERS and things, so I don't really understand why we need to use the rear wing in qualifying, because it was only used for the racing. I'm happy to use it in the racing, but to keep using it in qualifying when we have a choice to have it on or off is a bit strange to have it on. Yes, I think just for the tyres really. Tyres, because there'll be more pit stops, so this will make the racing a bit more interesting, and maybe sometimes a little bit harder to follow, maybe for the people to see really what's happening, because they're maybe not understanding someone going back and then coming up again, going back. It's going to be a bit interesting. Even from the cockpit side, it's going to be hard to know who is where, because even for us to follow the race might not be that easy from inside the car. So it's definitely more interesting than last year. It looks like the tyres are, you know, they wear pretty quickly, so they degrade. It's pretty linear, and then there comes a point where the wear is finished, and you have no grip. So you got to be careful of that. And they don't seem to respond too much to driving slow and looking after them. So it looks like that you just have to go flat out. Yeah, India, new track for sure. We'll do some simulator work. It looks very similar to a lot of the other Tilke tracks, so it doesn't look too dissimilar to some of those ones. So yeah, we'll see. I think the most important thing for India is to make sure that your tummy is okay, and yeah, so we work on that first. I think Ferrari had a good winter. They're going to be very strong. Felipe and Fernando look very quick, and McLaren and Mercedes. Oh, I have another great opportunity to do well. You know, I need to focus and of course drive well and work on the things that, the good things that I had last year, which is obviously a lot of good results, a lot of podiums and some good victories, and keep the performances consistent as possible. And I hope that I can be with a chance again of pushing for the title. There's no reason why this cannot happen again, and go from there.